This episode is brought to you by Starry. When you drink Starry Lemon Lime Soda, every sip is a win. Perfect for game time or anytime. It's a crisp, refreshing lemon lime soda that's caffeine-free and bursting with flavor that makes you go, ah. Starry hits different. Find it in stores or online today.
Hello and welcome to Unequal Sequel
Extra.
It's that time of the week again when we put out an episode about sequels on the air, on the internet, for your ears.
What? Why are you stopping in between your words?
I was just trying a new style,
Okay.
I think. Like,
No.
Hey, we're here.
Yeah. I mean,
But you're like, I don't know when to jump in.
it just sounded like you're having a stroke, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe. People like hitting their phones and like, what is going on with my headphones? No, guys, I'm okay. I was
Are
just,
you all
know,
right, mate?
I think so. I do feel a little bit strange, but nothing like you do, probably. But
Yeah. I'm having a weird one.
yeah. How are you, mate? You doing all right?
Yeah, I've got an operation next week, and to prep for that operation, I have to be on a very weird diet. It's called a low residue diet, and it means that I basically have to exist on very processed white bread and white pasta and nothing else. Only things what are white, like
That sounds
chicken
delicious.
breast, eggs, pasta, white bread, not much else.
Are you allowed to put them together?
Yeah, I can put them together. Yeah. It's just getting the combination right. And by the time I've got the combination right, I'll have moved on to the next phase of the diet, which is liquids only. Yeah. Very limited liquids, though. It's not the fun ones. There's no beer in there.
We've got to record 2 episodes this week, obviously, because Rich is incapacitated next week. So we're going to see how grumpy he gets through the week. So by the time next Friday comes along and you guys are listening to that, you're going to hear a really angry
I'm
man.
going to be really grumpy.
It's like, fuck sequels and fuck films.
I don't care. Just cut the bits out of me you need to cut out of me already and get on with it.
And like, I thought, oh, let's watch something fun for him today. So, Rich, do you want to let everyone know what we found to talk about today?
Well, it turns out that 20 years ago today, Final Destination 2 was released.
Yay!
A sequel I'd never seen until today.
Really? You never seen it?
I'd never seen it, no. I've seen the first one. I've not seen any of the sequels. And yes, this one is a thing.
Right, let's before we go into the synopsis. So you've never seen them. You saw Final Destination 1 in 2000 or around that point? do you
Yeah,
reckon?
around that time, yeah. I think I might have bought it on DVD.
I think everyone had these on DVD,
Yeah.
the first one. It was a very, along with Scream and stuff like that, it was a horror trope.
Very
I know
of its time.
I know what you did last summer. It was a clever premise, I thought. Like,
Yeah, it was. Yes, it definitely was a clever premise, and I think the cast were quite good in the first one.
there's lots of faces now that went on to
Yeah.
other TV shows and movies.
Definitely, and it had Ali Larter in it, which was always a draw for me as a late teen, early 20s young man. I think
Yes.
for most men in their late 30s and early 40s, Ali Larter would have been a draw.
Was it at this point Varsity Blues was just before all this, right?
Varsity Blues was 99, I think.
Yes.
And
So
the whipped cream.
Yeah. We're all there.
Oh,
we're men of that age. Yeah. So Ali Larter's in the first one. She survives. Death doesn't come and get her for some reason. I can't actually remember what happens at the end of that film.
No,
I think
me
they think they survived, and then very much like the second film, there's a good last minute kill.
Yes.
And I'm guessing the boy from the first one who survived with Ali Larter didn't want to come back for the second one.
He didn't
So
survive, though. he died in the
But
first
no,
one,
he
didn't
committed. Yeah, no, he didn't. He committed suicide or something. And there's a paper bit in this
He
one.
got hit by a brick.
Yeah, but that's not in the first film. I think
Isn't
that's
it?
just, isn't it?
I thought he died at the end of the first film.
Oh, maybe he did. Like I said, I cannot remember. I have not watched these films in 20 years. Before we even get down to the root of the franchises, I'm pretty sure I can't really remember. I can tell you there's one with a NASCAR thing at the beginning. There's a one with a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But what beyond that point, I have no idea. I also know they had the Final Destination, and then they come back for a Final Destination 5.
Yeah, this is the final destination.
We
apart
promise
from
this is the
next
final
one, and there's probably another one after that.
It surprised me. There must be one on the way somewhere, because again, it is quite a good premise, and if they keep doing it to a separate people,
Right.
and they don't try and link it to other people, I think it works. Like,
I need to talk about the premise, but maybe we'll get to that after the.
shall we do the
other
synopsis
bits.
and then we can get to the premise?
Oh yeah, I mean the synopsis is relatively simple because it's exactly the fucking same as the first one. And I know
was?
I've said that before, but this really, really is. It's so similar. So 1 year on from the events of the first movie, a girl and her friends are going somewhere. I can't remember where.
Daytona.
For spring break. Daytona.
Daytona.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. And whilst in the car, the girl driving has a premonition there's going to be a massive accident and people are going to die in really crazy ways. And so she doesn't get onto the freeway and she blocks the road, and so no one else can get on. And surprise, surprise, Death gets annoyed and decides to kill all of the people that are saved in interesting and violent ways.
Comical. I would say comical.
Some of them are pretty comical. Yes. Especially being squashed by a giant piece of glass.
Yeah. I think that was my favourite.
I think that's probably my favourite too.
Of all the kills in there, I think that was like, because he already survived, which I thought was going to be a horrible dentist
Yes.
chair
Yeah.
in someone you think he's choking from an inflatable fish that fell in his mouth from above.
A little plastic fish that fell from the ceiling. I don't know.
What this film isn't afraid of is to kill teenagers.
No, it's definitely not afraid to kill teenagers.
They're
And
not
it's
quite children, but
no.
you know.
It doesn't fit into my rule of children dying, making it a bad movie.
Yeah.
Because they're teenagers, so it's okay.
But-
But they do die in very graphic and sometimes hilarious ways.
Yeah. Burnt, squashed,
And that
run
is
over,
the
blown
best-
up,
the-
chopped.
The best thing about this movie, right?
Yes.
The ways that they die are the best things about the movie.
That's what makes it entertaining, right?
If you've never seen Final Destination before, then basically it's the first 5 minutes of Casualty. Like, it's just over and over again.
But on drugs, like on coke,
Yeah.
I would say.
But on a lot of drugs, yeah.
Yeah. So the premise is, and have you got promises of the premise? The premise we think is good, right?
I think the premise is good in the first movie. I think what happens in this movie is they basically repeat the first movie over again. I would almost struggle to call this a sequel. It's basically a remake.
No, but it is a sequel because the alley
I know.
Claire Rivers
I know.
is in it from
We're
the
gonna-
first one.
I always thought her name was Claire, and it turns out it's Clear. Yeah. So, but yeah, I know it is a sequel, but it does that thing that I hate when sequels do, and it does not develop anything whatsoever. It basically just retreads the old ground of the first one.
Yeah.
And they go, "Oh, this was a good concept. Let's do some more." All right. Okay.
But is it better?
No.
Do you not think?
No, it's. I'll tell you why it's not better for me.
Go on.
I didn't care about any of the characters
Oh, yeah.
apart from
I
Ali Larter. I cared about Ali Larter,
100% agree with you.
but I cared about her because of the first one. So,
Or was it because you cared about her because of Varsity Blues and the road trip?
probably, yeah. But no, I did. I remember in the first one going, "Do you know what? I like this cast. I like these. These teenagers who are all getting killed off. It's interesting, and I feel bad for them, and I get them. I understand them. This one, I was like, fuck it."
Yeah. The deaths are more of a surprise in the first one than the second
Yeah.
one, because they do this fake death and then they have the real death. Like, you think they've got out of it, and then one of them steps out into a road and gets knocked down by a bus.
And that's going to happen in this one. The cat's
Yes.
already out of the bag, isn't it?
Especially when the kid starts running at pigeons, and I think, well, that's not a good idea, kiddo.
That's stupid.
You've just survived upstairs.
Yeah, and she already told you, beware of the pigeons.
Yeah.
That right now is how you can tell the difference between London and Bristol. Because you know, in London, when you sit in the train station, and they're always like, if you see anything, report it. See it, spot it, report it. It could be a bomb, it could be all this stuff. And then in Bristol, it's like, here, don't feed the pigeons.
That is true. So the big thing in the first one is an aeroplane blowing up, right? He escapes that.
Yeah.
He has a premonition of that the plane's going to blow up, and I think that's really cool in the first one. You're all arguing like, "Why'd you get us kicked off that plane?" And then in the background, they're not even focused on it. It's quite cool, and then they all realise. And this one is just a big pile up.
Yeah. I mean, it's quite a cool pile up. It looks good. Yeah. I mean, is it the same director as the first one? Because he's certainly got a way of killing people in inventive ways.
I think you have to if you're going for a job interview of being a director of or writer of a Final Destination film.
True.
I mean, I think the more crazy you go, the better. Especially when by the time we've got to the 6th one or whatever it is now.
Yeah. So it's David Ellis, is it the director? Of this one?
He came back and did the 4th one, I believe.
Oh, okay. So he wasn't director of this, but he was the second unit and assistant director of Matrix Reloaded, which we know how we feel about that. He's also directed Snakes on a Plane.
Brilliant.
And
you know what? I really like
Blue Sea. He was the second unit director on Deep Blue Sea.
Not
so
awful.
We sort of know the level we're talking about here, right? Pulpy kind of, and he's basically a stunt coordinator is where he started out.
Well, that makes sense.
You can sort of
you can put together a nice set piece, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's why the set pieces look decent. But yeah, it's an otherwise pretty forgettable movie, I would say.
Well, it's very much this one, the second one. It definitely feels like it's a film of its time, of that era. And I can remember, I can very clearly remember that era, just pre-going to university this was. There's loads of these horror films like this. Urban Legends was another one, I think. Yeah. And everyone was scrapping around to try and find the next franchise kind of thing. And you can tell by the music,
Jeepers
and the haircuts.
Creepers. Was that
Jeepers Creepers, probably?
Yeah.
That might be a bit after this. But the music, the haircuts, the T-shirts you were talking about.
Yeah. There's a kid with a Limp Bizkit T-shirt on at one point, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is very 2003.
The looks, the sounds of it is definitely...
I felt a little bit like it was a made-for-TV version, though.
I agree with that.
It did seem a bit shonky and cheap in places.
Was that when they tried to get in the Tony Todd character of the...
Yeah, what's that all about? Is he in the first one? I can't remember.
He must be in the first one, but he's also famous for being Candyman. So there's a nice nod there, obviously.
I mean, talking of cast, the cast of the first one I remember being really good, and then literally the cast of this one, the only people I recognise are Ali Larter and Tony Todd.
Yes, I'm just looking through them as well, and I don't
know who anyone else is.
I mean, AJ Cook, who plays Kimberly Corman, let's click on her name. I thought she was good. She was a good final girl or whatever they call them.
Yeah, she was all right. Like the first one's got Stifler in it, right? Like
yeah.
They weren't kind of I don't know, just
and Jack from Dawson's Creek.
Jack from Dawson's Creek, yeah.
Sorry, we don't know his names. We just know everyone's from Dawson's Creek.
His name is Kerr Smith. I do know his name. Thank you very much.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
There you go.
But yeah, I mean, I think the first one just felt a bit kind of better put together, maybe. Like, I don't know I think probably similar budgets, right? I don't really know, but
I imagine so.
Yeah, the first one just felt a bit kind of made for TV kind of job.
There was a 3-year gap, so I imagine I was surprised they took that long.
Me too. Yeah,
because I thought once they found out, hey, that we can do some, I can't imagine a massive budget, Rich.
No, I can't imagine a massive budget.
And I think these do quite well. I mean, let's talk about the issue. It is they released it in January. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what we found out the last 2 years is no one releases anything in January, especially sequels.
No, definitely not. So I don't know why they released it in January. Like
It's in the UK, so it might have come out. Let's just check.
US, it was January too, I think.
What the fuck is going on there then?
Yeah, weird.
Either they were brave and thought no one puts anything out in January, even in 2003.
It was right at the end of January, but
And we can clear up a little bit. The 20th, ladies and gents. But we can clear up a little bit before.
20th in the US, 31st in the UK.
Oh, we've just got it in.
We just got it in. It was just January.
This is the only one we could find. Also, America have got Puss in Boots 2 at the moment, and we have to wait until February for that.
I know,
Fuck
right?
you guys. Do they not know what we need in January? Fuck you.
Maybe we could try and get hold of it somehow.
Maybe. Who? DreamWorks, what's that? Universal? We can ask.
Sony, isn't it, I think?
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it is. Anyway, Final Destination 2. Released in January, made a bit of money. I'm going to go find out now, actually.
I can tell you if you like. I've got it here.
Budget 26 million. Gross worldwide 90 million.
That's not bad.
It's not bad.
Better than a poke in the eye.
Yeah. better. So now you've watched the second one.
Yeah.
You're going to go carry on?
No,
2,
fuck
3?
no. Why would
No.
you? Like, why? Who watched this and went, well, that's a franchise I can't get enough of?
I generally might just watch the first 5 minutes and see what the big hoo-ha is.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I remember a roller coaster, a big car, but after that. And I could tell you tell you which one's which. Hang on, is there a poster? Final Destination 3 has got a roller coaster on it.
Okay.
So I might have seen that one in 2006.
So there's a 6, right?
No, there's just a poster for it at the moment.
Oh, right,
no
okay.
date on.
Yeah. So 3's got a roller coaster on it. Then there's the Final Destination. And then there's Final Destination 5.
Makes me laugh.
And then potentially 6. Which, yeah, great. No, I mean, it's not really for me. It's fun enough, I think, though.
Do you know how they create Death as a character, but you never kind of see him, but things just pop off like wiry, and the water starts spilling for things.
I mean, that's kind of the bit I found really confusing about this one. It's
Go
like
on.
the arbitrary rules about how to stop death.
I didn't really understand. So in the first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they go through when they got off the plane kind of thing or something.
Yeah.
And in this one, apparently Death's working backwards because Ali Lartner hasn't died.
No. But
So you see where I'm getting confused? But then
Death isn't working backwards, though, because if he was, she'd die first, right? Because it's a year ago, she should have died, but she doesn't die first.
She dies like
kid that wins the
third
lottery
last.
dies first. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he just keeps surviving, that boy. How he doesn't move his head at the last minute.
They just took that, they took it out and ran with it, right? They're just like, everyone's going to expect that we're going to do something that's really obviously going to kill him, and then we're kill him with the next thing. So what we're going to do is we'll do something that's very obviously going to kill him, and then we'll not kill him with the next thing, or the next thing, or the next thing. We'll kill him with like the fifth thing.
Yeah, but that's every death they do like that.
Yeah.
Everyone, apart from maybe the druggy guy who gets cut up by a fence.
Yeah, I mean that's quite cool.
It's quite cool.
Yeah, and Ali Larter, her death is just it's just a big explosion, isn't it?
That's quite brutal, to be honest, when her face crisps up and then her body just flies towards the camera and her mutated face just lands on the camera for a second.
I should also like to say, a lot of these things don't happen in real life. Cars don't explode on impact. That's,
That's
they're
true.
designed not to do that. That's the whole point.
Did you ever did it make you think about your close misses? Have you ever had a close miss and you thought, oh, that could have been a bit close? I mean, everyone's nearly been hit by a car once in a while.
Yeah, a
I
couple
have
of
to
times driving, I should think. Yeah, there's a few times I've been like, oh crap, going around a corner and someone's on the opposite side of the road, on your side of the road or something. That's happened a few times.
I've had the M1 when something was coming off the back of a lorry at me.
Oh really? Wow,
that was quite scary.
I could tell you a brilliant one about old housemate of mine going down the M1, and he was following a car which had a roof box on the top. The roof box blew open, and loads of clothes flew out and went all over his car. And he managed to do the windscreen wipers and get them off so he could still see. Carried on going, and then about 30 miles later, his engine just massively overheated. And when he pulled into the services, it turned out that a massive pair of old ladies' pants had got caught in his in his grill and stopped.
Where's that in this film?
Stopped his radiator cooling down.
And that's how he escaped death.
Yeah.
And now death wants his number, or whatever it is.
Basically cooked his engine, so he had to get a new car.
That's how he, that's how he survived.
Killed his car.
But he survived, Rich.
But he survived, yeah. The old
We should
lady's
write
pants saved him.
Final Destination 99.
He's like a health and safety officer now. He's like the nemesis of Final Destination.
But was that his turning point? It's like, I want to be safe.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
I remember at school once, we just had a big, long talk about road safety. And then me and my friend Tom, on the way home, nearly got hit by a car. We looked at each other, looked at the car, and then laughed at each other. And I swear those people in the car must have thought we were mental.
My brother once got hit by a car quite slowly, but he still hurt himself. He still broke his leg because he was running to watch two ice cream men have a fight. And didn't look where he was going and got hit by a car.
Again, that can be in the film.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Yeah.
Not a problem.
These are all our Final Destinations.
I mean, you can think of anything. I just seen a clip in the fifth one. There's one with an eye surgery or something, and that gives me the willies.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that. No, I don't want to watch that.
But, you know, any job. X-rays, I'm sure there's something where an X-ray will fry people.
Yeah.
Or
There's
at a
something.
swim pool.
There's always something. There's always something. In these, if you watch too many of these movies, you will just see death everywhere. Like
Yes.
recording a podcast. Like my headphone lead get tangled around my neck or something.
And I couldn't do anything, guys, because I was here and I have to drive to my car and then get there and then, oh, he's not really dead. But then...
Could just phone my wife.
Yeah, well, that would be quicker. But it's not the initial death that you die of, it's the unexpected one after that, Rich. It's probably when you walk out of your little hut and you slip on your dog's dog shit, hit your head on the wall.
Yeah,
and then a brick falls off the wall, lands on your child's toy. That makes something explode.
The barbecue, maybe.
Yeah, it's like a barbecue.
The gas bottle of barbecue, yeah.
And that explodes as well, or
yeah.
you fall on the barbecue and you've...
Yeah.
We are available to write scripts.
We could do a treatment of Final Destination 6 right now. But
well, yes,
I don't
we
want
probably
to.
could, and I think that's how they did them. And honestly,
Yeah,
I think
you're
people would go and see them. I think they're quite fun.
I think it's quite fun. I did like...
It's easy to watch in.
Zips along. It's 90
Under
minutes.
90 minutes.
Yeah. Zips along quite nicely. Like, I didn't really pay that much attention to it, if I'm perfectly honest. I wasn't totally enthralled in it. But, you know, it's fine.
I mean, I imagine seeing in the cinema, and I might have seen this in the cinema, there's every chance that happened, that people would have a good time and be like, ha, 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 ha. It's not like screaming scary. It is laughing scary, I think.
Yeah.
And I think the jump scares, are, like I said, are better in the first one. When someone gets hit in the bus in the first one, is literally out of nowhere. She's screaming like, fuck you guys, I'm going home, and blah, blah, blah. And then, boom.
Yeah. But that trope's been done so many times now since then that, you know, it's almost kind of like... If you were to watch it now, you'd be like, oh, I've seen that happen a million times. But back then, it was in 2000, you hadn't seen that happen a million times, you know?
Yeah. And then 2003. And how old I be? I literally, I've just turned 18 at this point in my life. So I probably thought this stuff was cool.
22.
And I liked... Oh. Did you still like listen to Limp Bizkit at that point? And
yeah, probably.
You're like, I've probably seen them.
I did see them. I saw them at Leeds Festival, but I can't remember what year that was. Probably 2000, I think, 2001 maybe.
Because we're that old.
Yeah, because I'm old, so old.
So old. I don't suppose you sat down and watched this with the family, would you?
No.
Popcorn?
No, definitely not. No.
This would be a hard sell.
No chance. I can't even imagine my wife agreeing to watch it, let alone George.
That is true. So we wouldn't go and do Final Destination 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, to be fair, one day we might have to.
If it was on and, you know, it just happened to be on, I might watch it, like, you know, and I was really bored and there was nothing else that I could do. If it was like on a plane or a bus journey or something.
Say
and it
you've
was
just had an
on,
operation and you're laying in bed or on your sofa.
which is going to happen next week.
Yeah. And Final Destination.
My
4
letterbox
comes
is
on.
going to get so full.
Would you watch it?
Well, yeah, but I've got a world of streaming and stuff to watch.
And the
so-
batteries have gone in the controller. Again, this sounds like a setup for Final Destination
It does, yeah.
accident.
It really does. I mean, yeah, probably. I'd probably just leave it on, yeah.
Yeah. Let's get to the rating, because I
Okay.
think this is a good time. And then we can talk about if it's an unequal sequel or not. What would you rate it? How, like, on a 7? Because it's Rich, this is not a good film, but it's a fun film. It's not a badly... I wouldn't say this is a badly made film.
It's not badly made, but it does look a bit cheap. Though.
It's cheap, but isn't that the time of 2003?
I don't know. I think it looks cheaper than the first one, though. Like, I think it looked cheap for its time, maybe. Not just cheap now. Anyway, I would give it, like, out of 7, a 2, maybe 2.5.
Wow.
Nothing. It's not great, but it's fairly nothingy. That it's not going to offend you that much.
Where would you put it on, like, horrors? We'll class this as a class.
Yeah.
We'll class this as a horror, wouldn't we?
Sort of, I suppose. Sort of fits in the kind of Scream horror.
Is it like a diet?
we
Yeah,
talked
is it like a
about,
Diet Coke of a horror?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's not going to please super horror fans, is it? Like
No.
the hardcore horror fans.
no, definitely not.
But if you're just like me and you,
Yeah. Where would I place it in the, like, what, number 2 or the franchise as a whole?
well, I don't know what the franchise as a whole, because we haven't seen the
Franchise
rest
as
of
a
the franchise.
whole.
Do you know what I mean? It's not as scary as some of the stabby,
Yeah, it's
violent
sort of
violence,
around
but
the
it's like this is like a Diet Coke. You know,
Yeah, it's like a Scream
teen
version,
horror.
isn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
I think Scream. Let's not put Scream is scarier than
Scream
this.
is a lot better than this. Scream is a lot better and a lot more inventive than this is.
It's smarter,
Yeah, definitely.
but the premise is good.
But the
here.
premise is good. They just don't do the same thing over and over again, And I suppose
Well, what else
I've
would
got
you
a
do?
feeling
What else would you do?
I don't know. I don't know what else you'd do.
That's
You'd
the premise of the film. Your number's up. That's going to get you. It's going to be odd the way you die, and when people
Well,
talk
yeah,
about
but
it
then it's
afterwards,
just-
you're like, yeah, a window dropped on his head.
Well, yeah, but then it's just pointless, isn't it? It's just watching people die, basically, in funny ways. Like, I guess that's what you want to watch. If that's
Yeah,
the case,
that's
then
the fun.
I'd
That's
put
the
it with
fun out of it.
Jackass.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That does work.
It's basically watching people horrifically hurt themselves for no
The
reason.
guy blows up in a barbecue at the end, and that's again. the unbelievable.
Yeah, I felt that was a bit uncalled for. It's like anyone who's ever been saved from an accident ever has to die in a horrific death. Like,
Yes.
I thought
it
it was only
seems
when
so.
there's a premonition. Like,
Yes, you're
But
right.
then how can anyone ever be saved from anything? Like,
But everyone's always like, if you get saved from like a fire by a fireman or whatever.
Yeah. So you instantly marked for death then because you've been cheated.
Let's
How
be
does that
honest.
work?
There are holes in the.
Oh my god! It's a Swiss cheese of plot holes.
This one I'm pretty sure doesn't make sense.
It makes no sense.
And Ali, what's her name? Ali
Lata.
She does she tries so hard to try and sell this shit.
She does, yeah. She does. She gets bonus points for salesmanship.
And
Essentially,
she gets all the horrible like explaining lines. Like,
yeah. And she is by far
reading
the
this,
best
like,
actor in this
how
movie
is
by
this?
a long
How
way.
am I going to sell this? This doesn't make sense. Bless her.
Yeah.
But she does a great job. I think all
Yeah.
the kids in it do quite a good job. Actually, they all, look surprised when they die.
I mean, most of them don't have much to do, to be honest. But like you say, Ali Lata does all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And does that well enough.
And the other girl has premonitions, and then there's a
the other
policeman
girl
who just
has premonitions and looks worried, and and is 17, and is
Yeah.
somehow like having this. I don't know. Feels a bit like a relationship ish
with the
policeman who must
the
be
policeman
about
is a bit of a
20
sexy
years
lamp,
older
isn't
than her.
He's a bit of a sexy lamp, isn't he?
He is definitely very much a sexy lamp. Yeah, but that's fine. That's fine. We can. That's all right.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the what should we call the Scott Eastwood, I would
Yes,
say.
the Scott Eastwood test.
yeah, absolutely.
When we talk about unequal sequel, then you said 2.5. I'm gonna agree with that. I might even push to a 3.
Okay. So Unequal, I think the first one's a lot better.
I'm about to say, because we haven't seen I can't really remember the other ones.
I mean, I've
But the first one was on.
Yeah.
First one was okay. Again, guys, you probably know how I consume my TV. It was on Gogglebox.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it was a new or old episode of Gogglebox, but a lot of them hadn't seen Final Destination, so they were jumping out on the screens. And
I think first time you watch
bit.
it's great. If you don't know the concept, I think it's really interesting.
And they're all telling them to run or whatever, but then things like switches just flick on and blenders turn on, and then next thing you know, the man's foot's in a microwave and set on fire or whatever. So yeah, I think like I totally agree with you. The first one is a better film,
Definitely,
because it has that originality and it has that surprise. But for fun, I think this one may be better.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Just because I think it's a little bit more silly. They had to turn it up a couple of more notches. Like, all we got going for us in these films are the crazy deaths. People are not going to come for the script, are they?
No, that's true. That's true.
They want to see how these people die in crazy ways. So yes, it's an unequal sequel, and we don't know the rest of the franchise. We might get around to doing it one day if it lands on an anniversary or whatever, and we've got nothing to talk about that week.
So when was 3 released? 2006. So we've got like 3 years to go before.
Good.
Talk about that one. So we're all right for a bit.
Well, it depends if it was released in January or not. If it's in the summer, we might not have time to do it.
Oh, that's true. That's true. We might be too busy. Let's have a look. Let's have a look when it was released. Hang on. It was released. Hang on. February the 2nd, 2006.
Oh.
Never know.
It looks like the fourth one was in August.
Oh, that's not going to get. We're not getting that.
We're not getting that. And the last one was also in August, I believe.
Okay. Interesting.
August, at Fright Fest.
Interesting.
That answers the question about it being a horror. So yeah, would you recommend it though?
I mean, not really.
Fair enough. There you go, guys. Don't go and see it.
Watch the first one. Don't watch this one. You can live without it.
Yes, it is not on the must-watch horror films. Go watch the first one. Then you can stop there. If there's another one, obviously we're gonna have to go and fucking see it. So brilliant.
I'm not watching the whole franchise. Just to
no,
watch
me
the
neither.
new one of this. I don't think
we're just going fresh.
Yeah.
Rich, do you want to see the lovely people out?
Oh, I suppose I probably should, shouldn't I? Hey.
Yes.
If you've enjoyed the episode today, and why not? There are loads more of these extra episodes where we review other probably slightly better movies than this one. Go back and give them a listen. We've got loads of anniversary specials like this one, or there's new movie reviews, and while you're there, we've got 4 whole seasons of interview episodes for you to listen to as well. So go all the way back to the start, all the way up to episode 1 when our audio quality wasn't very good, and start from there. It's joyous. Loads of people have been doing that recently, starting at the beginning and catching up.
I know, it's very sweet of them.
Binging it through.
Bless them.
They've done well. But yeah, go back and do that. If you really like it, hit the subscribe button, hit that auto download button, and we'll drop in every week. If you really, really, really like us, then get yourself onto anotherslice.com/unequal sequel, where you can join our subscription service. $2.99 a month for extra episodes, loads of extra business. We put all sorts of extra bits and pieces on there, and we've got loads of ideas from some fun stuff we're going to do in between our interview episode seasons. So get on there and have a listen. Get onto Twitter, get onto Instagram. Our competition to win a subscription to One of the Slices is now closed. We'll be announcing the winner of that on Twitter and Instagram very shortly.
By the time this is out, we'll
have done it. Yeah. So yeah, get yourself onto the social media at Unequal Sequel on Twitter and Instagram. Let us know what you think, and we will read out all of your comments on our monthly end of month roundup. Or you can always drop us an email, unequalsequel@hotmail.com. Yeah.
Great job.
Happy days.
Thanks very much.
So lost the plot a little in the middle.
No, welcome to the club. I'm just saying, I like it when we do these random anniversary sequels because it's a bit different.
It's different, yeah.
Especially because there's no way I would have picked this film otherwise.
No, me neither.
There's no way I would have gone through stream and gone, Final Destination 2.
Talking of different, I think next week's extra episode is going to be really different. It's going to be
Yeah, I
something
can't
we've
wait.
never done before. So, yeah, listen out for that.
Who knows how that's going to come out, but we'll put it out either way. Yeah, thank you for listening, guys. We appreciate everything. You're all brilliant, especially another Slice listeners. You're really brilliant. I've got nothing else to say, Rich. You got anything else to say?
Nope, all done.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it now, guys. I've put to bed me trying to do something smart and clever and say byes.
Thank God for that.
Ouch! It was really. It was sent me mad a little bit by the end of it. So it is a bye-bye from me. And it is a bye-bye from him.
Bye!
See you on the next one. It's going to be the sequel to this one. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's nice.
That was good, right?
That's the best way to end every episode. You've done
Every
it.
episode.
You've got it.
Because that
Cracked
will
it.
just keep going and going and
Yeah,
going.
yeah.
'Cause it always will be the sequel to the next episode.
Yeah. See you on the next episode. The sequel to this one. Love it. Perfect.
Done.
You've solved it. You've solved it after 4 seasons.